Made mistakes, but don't break me. Hard times only embrace me. To be the best, and my brothers both need to take the risk without safety. So I'm talking a lot, cause I'm the only one who can save me. Stop pointing fingers and pull the triggers to release the past. Lord, please don't forsake me. We grown now, yeah, I wonder why, but the generation ain't built for me. So I get back and make strides.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to N.Cast. Today it's me, your co-host, Prince Ayo, aka Pete Nigma. And I actually have a special guest, a guy I went to high school with. His name is...
Name is Richard Coward. You guys know me as Rip.
What?
You guys know me as Rip.
Rip. Let it rip. You remember Blade Blades?
Oh, yeah, dude.
Yeah, that's what I think about every time I think of
It's
your
like
name.
yeah, right?
Jack.
Oh, man.
You like
Lethal.
that horrific sci-fi stuff.
Lethal. That's crazy.
Got my man Brian behind cameras because we want to make sure everything goes smooth. So he's still here, just behind the scenes. Anyways, Rip, tell us a little bit about yourself. Like, what's your hobbies, what you do for a living, and stuff like that.
All right. Well, everyone that knows through high school, I grew up on a farm, stuff like that.
Okay.
So,
Zion
worked really hard.
Road?
Yep.
Okay.
Shout out Lance. Shout out Xavier.
Okay.
But, yeah, man. Known you for, 8 years, 10 years now? Me, myself, getting a new hobby, photography.
Okay.
Getting the works of being an entrepreneur.
Okay.
Trying to get into the business of auto detailing. Done it for about 3-4 years now. Just trying to make myself out there and put myself on a platform.
Do you do auto detailing like? Cause I know you used to work for like a car service company, but do you do that on the side too? Do you like?
Yeah.
Like
So right now I'm in the process of making my own business, which I'm gonna call it the N.Packs Auto Detailing.
Okay.
Still on the fence of deciding if it's gonna be mobile or if it's gonna be stationary.
Stationary.
Yeah. So I think mobile would be easier, but if
Don't
you're
you
stationary,
get a lot of supplies?
Yeah.
Okay,
So right now I got like the basics: steamer,
Okay.
vacuum, power washer, stuff like that. But I'd like to expand, getting chemicals to where it make it easier and more efficient to get the vehicle actually clean.
Yeah, cause it's kind of hard. Cause like if you keep trying to make profit of like starting that business, you're gonna always go back tap into your inventory.
Exactly.
Getting new supplies and stuff. So you're
Exactly.
almost like breaking even, almost or barely breaking even.
Yeah. Then I'm finding that I guess the chemicals are actually work better because you can have a good name brand, chemical, but it doesn't work as efficient as something you can get off eBay or even AutoZone.
So I guess with those type of chemicals, does it matter like name brand or just like the
It doesn't
actual
matter.
effectiveness of the
Yeah.
chemical?
So for example, wheel cleaners have a different like pH
Okay.
level. You can dilute it with water. I personally use Adams Polishes wheel cleaner, which I think is more efficient than Meguiar's. Meguiar's is another big name brand car washing company, I guess, or chemical company. But the wheel cleaner itself, it foams up, it turns purple to where it takes the iron particles off the wheel itself. So when you brake,
Okay, that
yeah,
actually
that
matters
friction,
more.
yeah.
So you can see like the shininess of the tire, not tires, the decal. That was called.
yeah, the wheel itself, whatever color it is, and the purple actually makes you see like it's actually working,
Okay.
and actually how bad the wheel has a lot of iron and stuff into it. So
is the iron like the dirt?
yeah, so since brakes are obviously metal, there's a
Okay.
lot of iron particles on the wheel itself, and that particular chemical tracks or like is like designed to go to the iron and remove it from the wheel as best as possible, rather than you just putting salt on it and washing the wheel. It gets all that stuff out of the wheel.
So the
Breaks it
brakes
down.
move more smoothly. I didn't know that. I didn't know that at all. Car detailing, it's all about the details, right?
Yeah, of course, absolutely.
Speaking of details, photography.
Yes.
What made you get into photography and being part of the shooter gang?
Let's see. So
AK-47.
yeah, right. Wrong color for that.
Exactly.
But so I say my photography or interest in photography started a little bit after high school.
Okay.
I've always wanted to do it, but never like got the confidence in myself to actually pick a camera up, get a camera and stuff like that. My trip to Colorado last year, I started utilizing my iPhone 11, using the cameras, like playing with it a little bit. I'm like, yo, this is actually like soothing to me. So that's where I guess my love for photography and as well as Colorado came into that place last trip.
So you just recently came back from Colorado a couple weeks ago, right?
Yes, sir.
So what was so interesting about Colorado other than the and I guess like the hiking trails too.
Yeah. So I guess the way I grew up on a farm, Mount Zion, everybody that didn't grow up, in that particular area knew that strip is, very, very open. So I like the open space, the quiet around the mountains add that, that scenery factor that's relaxing to me. To you, it could be, a beach or a lake. To Brian, it could be, in a city. Okay. I know a lot of people that are very, very calm in the city. The city makes me very, anxious. And, there's not, I'm used to parking in wherever I can find rather than, finding a parking garage you have to worry about, getting a ticket or so. But
you don't like congested areas?
No, not at all, man.
Yeah, I'm
kind of claustrophobic when it comes to that stuff. I'm good, like, when I'm in the city, like when yesterday when me and you were shooting, whatever, like, after a while, I was like, all right, I'm cool. But before, I was like, I don't know where I'm at. Kind of nervous. But back to the Colorado thing. Definitely the scenery, the open space, the people. The people are
chill.
Very chill. I'm pretty sure it's because of the weed, but at the same time, it's very, very chill.
Also like hippie-ish? I don't know. Like I don't know the culture.
So I feel like everybody's more relaxed. There's more opportunity out there.
Okay.
I'm not sure about now with the pandemic, but a lot of people I personally know like went there or want to go there because of the opportunity. Here it's more like every man for himself. Like no one has the patience to talk to other people. We're kind of like on the edge, or like
we're tri-state, and it's like city, and we're a melting pot too at the same time. DMV, probably known for like the most like multi-language tri-state.
Yeah,
and like
very diverse.
States. Yeah,
very diverse. Like you can go to the store, and even the area we live in, you can have somebody that rides horses. You can have somebody that grew up in not the best area. All in that one area.
That's true.
If you go down south, kind of to expect. If you go down to California, kind of the same thing like here, very diverse. Or like if you go towards the Maine, same thing. People up there probably haven't even seen the city before.
It's very true. They're probably used to like their neighbor being like 5 miles down the street or something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's me speaking ignorantly. I've never been to Maine, but I can only imagine just a state like that. Or like Oklahoma. Like I can't imagine
Arizona. I'm very curious about Arizona because it's very, very like desert, wide open, dry. Like they got rattlesnakes. Like I can't handle the black snakes we have here. I can't imagine seeing a rattlesnake outside. Like
no, I can't. I'm not into snakes. I saw a snake when I was 7, 8 years old. Eat a mouse like right in front of me. I'm like, I'm good,
I can't do them either, man. They freak me out.
I don't need that type of work in my life,
They definitely freak me out.
But speaking of this weekend, because we did do some shooting this past weekend, there were some interesting events that did go on this weekend. And I called it out on Twitter. I'm not going to lie. I called it out on Twitter. I was like, yo, people will be thankful on Thursday and then go back to toxicity the next day. Like, I called it out. And, like, what the hell? I didn't, like, expect it to be, like, that wild.
Yep.
There was a Nate Robinson incident. There was this... she's a woman, whatever. She's like 18, 19 years old, but she was getting her back blown out on IG and blew up the internet. Like, there's just different stuff going on, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, like why is all this happening? Like,
guess if it's the year, man.
Like, what?
2020,
like, Like, that was like really unexpected. It's just like that's just something that was so unnecessary.
Yeah,
like, everything that just went on was so unnecessary.
Yeah, right.
like what? You can hit me with anything now, because like it won't faze me. I'm just like, I'm not surprised anymore.
Yeah,
like I'm not surprised.
I'm waiting for like Godzilla or like the devil himself to show up. It's
like,
crazy.
Yeah,
like, you look outside your window, like, well, city's on fire.
Yeah, like I don't know, but I'll go back to the Nate incident. Now, the memes were hilarious. They're funny.
Hilarious.
But, like, I felt like Nate was ill-prepared. If you've seen anything... All right, yes, it's a celebrity fight, right? Like, it was more so, like, they were going to get paid for it. You bring, like, a Thanksgiving weekend, like, get together and stuff like that. People are coming down for gatherings, even though you're supposed to have like under 25 people, but who knows what these regulations are about anymore.
I feel like people just did whatever they wanted anyways, man.
And then like they get hand sanitized and get COVID tested and move on with their life.
Yep.
But I think it hit everybody by surprise because like they're just gonna see like a fight. Like first off, anybody doesn't know who Jake Paul is. He's a YouTuber. It's just random.
Does whatever. Has too much money for his own good, man.
Yeah, that. But like I did see he has an older brother. The only reason I know about his older brother is because he did some wild stuff on YouTube, like video like a postmortem girl in the woods, and he got like some foul play from that. But
definitely a big troll, man.
Yeah, big troll guy.
Definitely
right?
a big troll.
Big troll guy. He fought this other guy named KSI, and they were like, they were just going at it. So I didn't expect any like technique from Jake, and Jake really did surprise me. He did like come in with technique, and boxing is a technical sport. It's a very technical sport. So it's very interesting that like how Nate went in that fight just thinking it was going to be like, I'm going to whoop a little kid's ass. Like,
I definitely think it's like a talent thing. Like, since he's so talented in other different things, he think like, oh, the boxing's going to be a breeze. Yeah. It's like, nah, like, me and you can go play soccer with somebody who's been playing it, 3 years, 2 years, and just get waxed.
Just because they've had more repetition, they had the mindset for it. They've been around the training and stuff, like 3-4 weeks, 6 weeks of training, opposed to someone who's like actually been like sparring and like actually been involved in the sport, even just 2-3 years. Yeah, that's an exponential like skill set over someone.
I mean, even look at Conor McGregor.
Okay.
When he fought Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah.
He thinking, oh, I'm a UFC fighter. I can go in there and win, Like, it's not the same thing. No. He ended up on the laying down on the ring too. Like, you really can't go and do something that you don't do every day that someone else does every day and expect to beat them.
Yeah. Just because you think like, oh, they run from opponents. It's like, okay, MMA is totally different. It's a totally different fighting skill. So we get you can fight, but it's a skill set in boxing. There's a skill set in soccer. There's a skill set in MMA. Like, just because you're crossing over there doesn't mean that you're going to be able just to dominate someone because you're underestimating them.
I even think similarities to football and rugby. Yeah.
Okay.
If you play football all your life, oh, I can play rugby. It's easy. You're like, it might not be the same thing. You never know.
And that's what happened to me. So, like, when I was in college, my senior year, like, I transferred over, and, like, there was good qualities that transferred over, but it's a lot more running, right? So, like, it's a lot more conditioning. And, like, in football, like, you make one good tackle, all right, get up. Yeah, all right, let's look for the next play. Yeah. Rugby, it's like, no, it's repetitive. Like, you get up, you got to get in the line, you got to be ready to go. And you got to have conditioning, you got to be explosive. Like, it's just a totally different game. So, I think that adequates to life, too. Like, in a way.
I can see that,
it transfers over to life. It's just, like, sometimes when you're going into, like, a different field, like maybe photography or videography, you feel like you were doing well with photography, you go to videography, you're like, holy crap, this is a wholly different, totally different skill set.
I will say, just from, experiencing yesterday, it's definitely a different ball game. Yeah. Like photography, you can get your shot, like, if we come down here, you got your perfect shot. With videography, the elements as well. The people around us, like, we had people that saw what we were doing, would go around. Then you got other people that are cutting through, like, get out of my way. So, it's definitely different. And then, the equipment holding, the
gimbal.
That thing, holding that versus, the camera itself, you can just put it across your shoulder, you're good to go. But it's definitely a different ball game.
I mean, I think it also helps you in life, too, because, like, it's nice that you can learn different skill sets because as you grow older, you can realize you can add on those skill sets and be of value in society, right? Instead of I'm not gonna pick on like a group of people, but just like instead of just say like you're an influencer, right? And you're just known for like your looks, right? And then like people make brand deals off of you, but you're gonna get older one day, right? And then they're gonna have a new generation of people. So what other value you're gonna have?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why skill sets come in. So say you start your skill sets when you're younger. At least when you get older, you keep working on those skill sets. You'll definitely build on it, right? If you continue working on it, right? Because repetition matters. But I don't know. I think that's good. That's good that like you tap into different like skill sets.
Yeah,
too.
I've definitely tried to be more open-minded about it. Like, just, it's even food, man.
Okay.
Like, I'm picky, dude. Like, I'd eat maybe 5 things, but now it's like I just first time I had sushi in Colorado, like peer pressure. But at the same time, it's like, why not? Everybody else eats it. It's not going to kill me if I try it one time. If I don't like it, I don't like it. But having an open mind. Yeah, man. I mean, I've even took on woodworking during the pandemic.
Did you make your own desk?
I made my own desk.
How long did that take you?
The building itself took like 4 days. Then I had to wait on the legs. That took forever. Then I got like a bad order of legs. But I'd probably say in a total of like 3 months, it was done, complete. And that was all through YouTube, man. Just going in there, watching videos. I'm like, yeah, well, why not? Let me try it out.
Did you have to like sand out like edges and stuff like that? Did you carve like your own designs on it?
Nah,
okay.
I didn't get that fancy.
Okay.
I think the only thing I did was like add LEDs on the bottom, like with a remote. I took 4 2x4s, cut them. Yeah, I think like 48 inches or whatever. Sanded it down. Flipped it over. Took another big piece of wood, put it on the bottom to help it flatten it out. Then the legs I got help too. So it's not the best quality, but it does its job.
So you never sanded it down or anything?
Oh yeah, I did sand it down.
Okay,
Yeah,
I say just for like
couple
smooth edges.
Yeah, like then rounded the edges.
Okay.
So it's not like hitting your hip.
Like how tall is it? Like this tall?
I'll probably say about this tall.
Okay, so something you can like kitchen like right here.
Like if I sit underneath, I guess it's like right here.
Okay.
So it's decent.
Where'd you put it? You put it downstairs?
It's in my room.
Okay.
Eventually, I like to, like make a bed for myself or like nice shelving and stuff. But I want to practice a little bit more before I can get into that.
Yo, so on YouTube, I seen a couple like, I guess carpenters or like woodworkers.
Mm-hmm.
They would make like, they would make their own bed, but like they have a shotgun confined area right here. So, like, say there was an intruder that comes into their bedroom. All they have to do is, like, push, like, one of the wood buttons, and the shotgun's right here, and they just put it up, and they got you. I'm like, wow, like,
that's sick.
You can get really clever with that.
Yeah, man.
And some people make, like, clubhouses with woodwork stuff.
I've seen small homes. Like, that's another thing I've seen on, like, YouTube and stuff. Like, small homes, like, maybe, like, down here just making space, like utilizing that space. So like your bed's up top and you got the fridge downstairs. Like somebody can live in the home like this, in like this room. It's crazy.
Because you don't need like, for human being, like, because we're living in a generation where it's like a lot of people are believing in like millennialist. I think that's what it's called, minimalist. Minimalist. Like just not having a lot for like to be a human being, because one, it's lower costs.
Yeah.
You're not affecting the environment as much. There's so many benefits to it, right?
Yeah.
And you can be more mobile too. Crap, I even seen someone live out of storage online. Yeah. Like a storage unit.
Yeah.
Like they had. Like,
that's a thing too. Small home storage unit.
What's it called? I think they had like a stovetop as their oven, and it's just like ramped up like the heat for the oven, like the stove.
What about the place you stayed at not too long ago? Wasn't that kind of the same thing?
Getaway.
Yeah,
the getaway. Yeah, that was legit, and it's kind of like that in a way. I liked it.
They had all your necessities, your essentials.
Yeah, it was a great spot, and then like outside they provided me with wood, but all I had to do was literally make my own fire, put it out, just make sure it didn't spread.
Yeah, that's definitely a big thing.
Just make sure the fire didn't spread and be a liability for everybody else that's staying there. But I liked it. I enjoyed myself for that weekend. That was my birthday weekend. So I went out there. So yeah, that was legit.
I actually watched the video, man. Yeah.
You should definitely go out there with Carolina. I think so. I think you like that.
You definitely said it was like a recommendation for couples, just like get away, like you two, just enjoy each other's company and stuff like that.
Yeah. Or like couples retreat. If that's just out too, like couples retreat type thing. You definitely like it.
She actually took me to a place a couple years ago in West Virginia. I had to ask her where, but I mean it was pretty nice. So the house itself was like in the middle of nowhere.
Okay.
In the middle of the woods, stuff like that, and there was a creek, probably say like 15 steps away. So you can hear the water and stuff like that. And then there's a trail that led to like a jump off area or like common area before COVID, of course.
Okay.
To where everybody could like jump off a rock and a nice swimming area. It's pretty nice. I can probably send that to you too.
Yeah, send it to me.
It,
So now this is the question of the hour now. Being as black people going in the wilderness woods, like I know you grew up in more country farm, but I've always been like into like nature and like just getting away like from society as much. Like I'm not as claustrophobic. I just like to go in the city when I can, but be able to like detach myself and then like be in my own like space. So that's why I don't mind nature as much, even though I like snakes. How do you feel about that? Like, do you ever feel like black man in the woods, get out moments?
Never, man.
Never?
Like,
Okay.
Like, my mom was a cop, so she was always like on the move.
Okay.
So growing up, with her really not in the house, I had to kind of like learn how to grow up from a very young age.
Okay.
Not in the sense of like, you know, I'm writing checks and paying bills at 6 years old, but more in the sense like I could cook hot dogs without burning the house down, or the glizzies. But you know, like make eggs without burning the house down. Learning not to call 911, like, you know, like common things like that. Like growing up as, you know, kind of not by myself, but like I have my grandmother and aunt around, but like growing up around, like hearing stuff. The woods are actually more calming. I feel like the only thing you really have to worry about is maybe a snake or a fox maybe, but you don't have to worry about somebody coming to the house and killing you. Yeah. You know what I mean?
I mean, it's just like I feel like, all right, back in the day maybe so much of black people starting to be more wilderness and stuff like that, but like it's just a question I have to ask, because when I went out to the getaway, my mom was calling me and she was like, "You're in the woods in Shenandoah, Virginia? Like, do you know what state you're in? Like this and that." And I'm like, I'm good. Like,
Shenandoah is actually pretty common.
Yeah, it's actually a nice state. I went on a hiking trail, but I almost got lost. I'm not gonna lie.
It's very easy to get lost in the woods. It's very easy to get lost in the woods, especially if you don't know, like, if you don't have like a good sense of direction. So like it's bad.
So like they had tags on the trees, right?
Yeah.
For the hiking trail, so you can like pinpoint like where you're at and make sure you remember how to get back. And I lost the tag like 3/4 of the trail, and I was like. I started hearing noises. But I went to the lake, right? And I was like, the lake's legit. The lake's legit. And I came back and I'm like, all right, I'm starting to hear noises. It's like 5. No, it was like 6 in the morning, 7 in the morning. So it was like right in the morning. I'm like, if I scream, nobody gonna hear me, bro. And I'm like, all right, yo, like, let me start making my way back. You know?
Yeah.
Like,
It's definitely something to get used to, especially growing up in the area that we did. Like, you know, even people that would sleep over my house, like, yo, what is that? What is that? I'm like, dude, like, you know, it's a deer. Don't worry about it. You know what I mean? But, you know, I grew up like that, so it's common nature. But, you know what I did? I had to get used to moving in Olney, the traffic, bro.
okay.
I hate the traffic sound. Like, people going back and forth, like, down our road. Like, it disturbs me. But I guess it's the same way, like, if someone grew up in the city and they come out there, like, hear crackling in the woods, like, what is that?
What is that?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't hear it as much, especially because, like, moving, like, way closer out. I was in a townhouse before here, so it's just more like, okay.
I remember.
Yeah. So it's just like, it's, like, a little bit more quieter out here. But, like.
That's good.
Before even moving to, like, on the area, like DMV, this area, it's just I live closer to like cities, like 407.
Okay.
And yeah, I hated all the noise and stuff. That's why, like, if I would get like a place in the city, I'd probably like rent it out or have it like just like one of the spots I'd have in the city. I couldn't live in the city forever. You know what I mean?
I'd like to get like a beach house maybe, or like a place in Colorado or like San Diego. That's where my mom actually wants to retire, in San Diego. But
isn't that the rainy state, or
I have no clue,
or not
dude.
Rainy state, or is it like I don't know what I'm talking about.
I heard it's like perfect weather actually out there.
Okay.
But like I guess like where she would like to retire is more like towards like the airport. So I guess like the housing is out there amazing. I've never been. So but me personally, I'd like to have like a getaway house to go to. That's like very, very peaceful. You know what I mean? But like again, like I was saying earlier, like Brian like Mike the city, you like Mike the beach. So I like the beach, but not as much as the mountains. But a beach would be a nice getaway as well.
Speaking of mountains, I don't want to backtrack, but like the thing about like living in that type of environment, like mountain nature, it gets you back to like being one with nature, kind of being back to like human side. The reason why I say that is because a lot of, I know we already talked about like the Jake Paul and like the fighters and all that, Mike Tyson and all that. But a lot of athletes, what they do is they go to places like Colorado because it has high altitude, right? And they go train there because they want to get their lung capacity going. So when they go to a place like California or like Puerto Rico or wherever they're going to fight, they're just monsters. They can breathe forever, right? But they also like go up there to like detach from our social media society and all that. And what that does to the mind, especially with a man, it kind of reprograms him. Like, it, one, it teaches him he doesn't need that much. Two, it teaches him, like, when he just goes straight to training and then eating and then just being one with nature and just focusing on, like, his objective. It's a totally different
Gets the distractions out the way. Gets the distractions out the way.
It's a totally
most
different
definitely.
mindset.
And that's actually what the trip did for me. Rejuvenated. Like, being here, working all the time, coming out, doing, you know, favors for your family. The pandemic didn't help either. You know, I've definitely tried to learn to, you know, focus on mental health for myself and be more positive. Because, you know, you can easily take work home with you. And then you're yelling at your whoever you live with, or if you know you have a girlfriend or wife, you're yelling at her, stuff like that. I think,
stress.
you know, like it's always built up, and you know, not like common, I guess, like businesses and stuff like that. They don't like their employees, man. It's all about the money. Are you healthy enough to come in the work? You know.
Well, they gotta keep their employees too.
Well, of course, but at the same time, it's like they don't care about their employees. Everybody that works there, you know, it's replaceable.
Yeah, it's superficial. I guess, because like they're gonna expect turnover rate. But like they want to keep their employees, so they gotta give like this superficial, like how can we keep them here and still enjoy their time, but also still make them work. It's like the little like trifecta there, like the little trinity right there. It's just like.
Especially if you have a horrible boss, dude.
We'll
give you more hours to make you more happy. It's like, dude, no. Like, that's not going to help me rejuvenate, you know, what's going on in my personal life. Giving me more hours for more money to you to tax me more. You know, like, it's got to be a balance, man.
Yeah. And, like, you personally have to create that balance.
Absolutely.
And I feel like if you feel like you don't like that job, it's so easy to be like, if you don't like that job, just leave. And it's just like, not everybody has that luxury of a situation.
And right now, it's not the best time to, get hired at a new place or even job search. Unless you're willing to work at McDonald's, somewhere that's always hiring. You know what I mean?
There's some remote jobs, but it's just like the qualifications for it. It's hard for some people.
Exactly, especially if you're overqualified. You don't want to go backwards in life, you know?
I mean, shoot, people are desperate out here. The unemployment check is ending this coming up month. And like they're not talking about the new stimulus bill till like January, until Biden gets inaugurated, if voter fraud exists or anything. But Brian's not here on the show to talk about politics as much. But
not a politic guy,
maybe
man.
next episode.
Not a politic guy, man.
But it's just till he gets inaugurated. They're trying to come up with like new policies to get the unemployment check in, and it's just like, one, I don't know if you heard about the vaccine.
I've heard they're in the works of getting it out. I've seen like, you know, the video on the news, like we have a vaccine coming. It has the stuff going through the little like track or whatever, where they're all coming into one place and being put into a box. But can I ask you how you feel about the vaccine?
I want to see like the first like 1,000.
First wave.
The first wave.
Same.
Maybe even second. Because like you kind of want to see the side effects too.
Yeah.
Because there's people who've been taking the vaccine, not vaccine. They've been taking the COVID test almost every day, and they're like, I'm probably gonna wait until like the first people who are gonna actually take it and see like side effects from it. The problem is that could take months.
Exactly.
And like just going back to what I was saying, like they're kind of like they're not forcing you to take the vaccine. But they're trying to put in policies in place, like saying, like, okay, if you don't take the vaccine, but all your coworkers take the vaccine, that's going to be a liability on the company. So, yeah, you keep your job, but the only way you keep your job is you have a vaccine.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Or, like, you can't get unemployment again unless you take the vaccine. And it's just like, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. You know what I mean? And it's like, okay, like, bro, I see what you're doing now. Like, you want my freedom, but then again, you don't want me to have my freedom. But
I mean, there might have to be a waiver that you sign, because what if you do take that vaccine for this particular job and it puts you in a bad situation? There's lawsuit time, So I feel like it's definitely something that needs to happen, because COVID is just taking lives.
Yeah.
And it's definitely, making the whole world slow down.
If we're not gonna go back to like normalize like before pre-COVID, at least like social activities, because this is horrific. Like
it's terrible, man.
Like teachers are struggling to teach kids. Like my brother, I talked to him a couple months ago. He's like, man, my kids are barely paying attention in the classroom.
A lot of distractions, bro.
Just so much, because it's just like they don't know what's really going on. Like my nephew, it's literally his senior year of high school, and he played football, so he missed his entire senior year of football.
Sucks.
And it's just like we both played football and stuff like that, so it's just like
yeah.
Remember senior year?
Yeah, I'm about to say our senior year is like the perfect story for football.
So it's just like he didn't even get that chance and stuff like that. It's just like
sucks.
Stuff like that, and like.
Yeah, that sucks.
My niece, she's still like trying to adapt to it. And she's like 12 or 13 or something like that. So she's like just becoming herself and stuff like that. So it's just like being in the COVID situation, I can only imagine. And then like we were talking about, like people just talking reckless online or just doing reckless things just to get the attention. But everything's about content nowadays.
Absolutely. And then back to well, I can't say back to because we never talked about it, but you and George's live.
Yeah.
I sat down and listened to you guys and the points that you made. I definitely think that the content can also draw you into that toxic, that lifestyle. I wouldn't say like social media wise to where like, you're focusing on, what people are saying about you, but you don't want to disappoint, or you feel like the picture that you put out is amazing and you only get 2 likes on it. Yeah. You know what I mean? I think it's, you just putting yourself out there. And, if you're satisfied with what you put and you make, then it really doesn't matter.
And it's like, I've been saying this since like 2017, 18. Like at the end of the day, it is just documenting. You know what I mean? Like you could always archive it if you feel like you didn't want that document. But like at the end of the day, you're documenting, and that's why like when you say you're building a portfolio, that's really what you're doing.
And that's really what my idea was for my Instagram. Because people are like, why aren't you having it public? Like why aren't you sending it out to people? It's just like I don't want to put myself out there to where I have people that are toxic or bored in the house commenting on my stuff, because maybe I might take it to heart. You know what I mean? So, it's definitely something that I wanted to make a portfolio to the people around me, people that support me, the people who actually know me. Like, hey, he takes good photos. Or, what I need to get better at, or what you guys might like, or what I might like. I guess putting up, the things like, the little fire thing, like the meter or whatever, stuff like that. Just, make yourself feel good, and, that you guys or whoever's like looking at my photos actually like the photos that I'm making.
I mean, hopefully one day you'll make it public. Cause I feel like, the photos that you've taken, especially from last year, even before COVID, and you were showing us during COVID, like you improved a lot. So like, you could definitely, if you don't want it public because of negative comments, I understand that. But also like, there's also a good side of social media too, where you network with people.
At least right now, like, I want to get to that professional level. People say I do have a professional eye, but me personally, I still have a lot to learn and a lot of, resources I need to make for myself.
And go at your own pace.
Exactly.
At the end of the day, you go at your own pace. I was just saying, like, don't, like, not wait too long, but don't always, like, discourage it at the same time, because that's just what comes with the game. Like we saw with Nate. Like with Nate Robinson, like
get knocked out, you just got
like that.
Face the heat.
That comes with the game.
Face the heat.
When you put yourself out there, you know what I'm saying? That's what comes with the game. Is what I'm saying. Yeah. Like you put it in private right now because you're like, all right, I understand what comes with the game, and when I feel ready to put it out there, just know, like, if a hate comment comes out, just know there's 20 more positive comments.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like that hate comment's just gonna stick out more. Because,
exactly.
You know what I mean? It's just so negative. So it's. Obviously, that person's hurt with themselves. Yeah, they want to put you down and drag you down. So it's just like you gotta think of it like that a lot of times too.
I definitely think that the word toxic comes from self-hate or self. They're not with themselves. They definitely have something that they need to fix, and hurting someone else, makes them feel better or just puts it aside. Yeah, which typical bullying attribute. My mom has something going on at work. So I'm a bully the person who has a great relationship with his mom. I definitely think that's a big thing with even cyberbullying or bullying itself or hating on somebody, quote unquote. Like,
it's funny, like even people in our generation don't get cyberbullying because like 91, right? Like 93, like
91.
Yeah, it's like 94, 5, 6, 96, like a little bit older generation millennials, like we're like the last part of millennials, we're like still trying to understand cyberbullying, even though
we
we're
like
later
went
20s.
through that like evolved, like we still had like what was it, AIM, and we went through flip phones, we went through that transition
to like college, high school, college, and
yeah,
high school, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like I get it, and it could be heavy, it could be real bad, and it does like severely hit us sometimes, but we're still trying to understand it because it's just like, damn, these words actually like hurt you. Like you see with Nate, like you're still trying to understand it. It's just like this really exists. You know what I mean?
I definitely think it's definitely more filtered now too, because you can't say certain things without getting flagged or like it being like sent to somebody and like you get hit from left and right, like yo, who is this? Like just off, you could be joking around, but the words that you say or post can just rub somebody the wrong way. Oh, dude, those meetings, man.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Oh man, you don't want to be a Call of Duty hobby. Like those kids are so cool, bro. They're like, man, you probably
N-word.
Oh, he sounds black.
Like, jeez. I just logged on.
Yeah, it was hard times then.
So
bro.
bad, man.
But like Gen Z's, like I don't know, like especially because like I'm on TikTok and stuff, and I see them, I'm just like, I don't get it sometimes. Like sometimes it's just a little bit for attention, but like I just don't understand. Like it's a lot about relationship with them, right? They just need someone. But then like for me, I'm okay with like being alone, right? I'm because I feel like loving yourself first can like be a lot better in the long run. And if you find someone who can join you on your journey,
you
then
definitely have to love yourself before you love somebody else.
Looking for someone for like the validation and stuff like that, but I had to go through that process to understand something like that. So I'm seeing them go through that process, and I'm just seeing like the weirdest way of them. Like to me, it's weird. Like you're not gonna catch me saving moments of me crying on my phone, save it, and then posting it.
Yeah,
I feel you. I can't comprehend it. Like I
feel you.
I can't comprehend.
I guess like how we handled it was way different. Like let's say we got rejected, like in high school, like asking a girl out, we're gonna walk around the hall like mad, like not talk to nobody, but we're not gonna save that moment in our phone.
It's very
and post it for clout,
Yeah, and it's strange, and it's just like you're looking for confirmation online. I'm like, I get that you're hurt. But like it's one, it makes mental health look like really stupid, to be honest.
Or there's like different levels to it.
Yeah, like it makes it look like you're just searching for attention. Yeah. So it's just like a lot of people who have mental health that don't do what you're doing are going to be afraid that people aren't going to take their mental health seriously. So they're going to even hide in their little bubble more. So it's just like it's a lot to it when it. That's just one example. But like it's just a lot to it. It's just very odd to me.
I refuse to get one because I doubt I'll be able to like get into it myself. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. But
it's great for.
I like car stuff, so if anything, anything like that, like maybe the detail stuff, maybe a TikTok, but
that's what I'm saying. But there's always. The way I see it, there's always going to be a new social platform. Too. So, like, you don't like TikTok now, in the next 5 years, there's going to be a new social platform that's going to give you better organic reach.
Yep. I mean, look at Vine. Vine lasted for a while, and then Instagram came out with little stories, and now like, TikTok, I guess, will be the new Vine. But, like Facebook. Facebook, I feel like it's more for our elders now, you know what I mean? Rather than us having that platform come out when now I can't even get on Facebook without upsetting my mother or you know what I mean, like I can't post nothing, so like I'll stick to my Twitter where it's a little bit ratchet. I'll stick to my Instagram where a little bit more poised, post my photos and leave it at that.
Make mom happy.
Yeah, my mom can't have a Facebook.
My mom found my Facebook the other day. She was like, I seen your post. I deleted so many posts since 2018. She's like, you're very quiet on there. I'm like, I know.
Yep, for a reason.
Oh man.
Yeah.
But I think how long have we been going, Brian? Like 40 minutes, 30 minutes? 45. Okay.
Not bad.
And that's not bad at all. I mean, I enjoyed the conversation. We had it, like I said, the way the podcast, how Ryan and I started the podcast is very formal, very like trying to get more structure. I'd make notes here and there. And then like as I was like getting more into the podcast world, it's like, bro, like the reason why we have podcasts is because we're tired of like television stations like scheduling when we're supposed to watch shows, having this like weird like formality to the show where you just feel like it's very superficial. When people just want to see the real you at the end of the day, like how you talk to people, like who you bring on your shows, like what do you talk about. Like some of the best podcasters are comedians, because like comedians can sit there all day and just talk shit. They just talk like the wildest shit, and they're just going in rants. And some of the rants are hysterical.
Yeah. What was it? Adam 22 that invited the one girl on there that was talking about like getting ran on train by like freaking the Suns or whatever. Like that stuff sells.
That stuff sells because toxicity sells.
Exactly.
It does sell.
It's crazy.
It sells because like here's the thing. Both of y'all go watch Social Dilemma. It's a documentary.
Social Dilemma?
Yes.
Okay.
Go watch it, and then tell me what you think about the guy Tristan Harris. Like, just go watch it.
Okay.
Like, these companies, the reason why toxicity sells is because of Facebook in 2016. They realized the best way they got engagement wasn't through a nice picture and they'd be like, "Oh, you look so nice."
Yeah.
No, it was through political discourse. It was through like angry reactions. As toxic as it seemed, it was just like,
I can see that. Like the Kardashians, like controversy, like wild lifestyle, like reality TV, like what is it, the Real Housewives or whatever, like throwing freaking like glass in each other's faces, and like their problems aren't like real problems, but people like it.
Yeah. I even say it on Instagram, TikTok, and all that. I'm like, as much as people want to preach positivity, we are somewhere innately are attracted to intense situations, controversy, toxic situation, because it keeps our like mind engaged, and then we have to figure out why that problem's a problem, and then we want to like compartmentalize it. And like a lot of people don't want to admit that. They're just like, "No, I'm tired of seeing it." You're tired of seeing it, but yet you post something about it the next day. And why do you think these companies are monetizing against it? Like, they'll just post an ad in between because they're like, "Oh, Britney's back on this toxic post, so we're gonna put an ad right here and then have her keep scrolling." Like, that's just how it works.
Yep.
So it's very interesting. And anybody else, go watch Social Dilemma. It's a very interesting documentary. The only thing is they just only focus on the problem. They don't teach you about like how you can find a solution. And really the solution is self-control and like knowing how to like log off and just keep your mind busy with something else, you know, like maybe pick up a hobby or don't look at it at work every 5 minutes just because you're bored.
Take your smoking breaks as much as possible.
Something like that. And I think a lot of people are just afraid of boredom.
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to. A lot of people are afraid of boredom.
Yeah.
And being in silence. So
yeah, I could definitely see that.
Yeah. I think that's why social media becomes addicting, because like you don't want to be in that silence. But Rip, that concludes the show, man.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me.
I think this is a good one. I'd like to have you back on here. I'd like to have Ant and Bo on here one more time too. And you guys can like actually talk about like the tea about the red pill effect. About men, and you're one guy who's in a relationship. Bo and I are like single, so we come with different perspectives, and we're gonna talk about like the food guy and stuff like that. So I think you should.
Yeah, I'm definitely down for that, man.
Yeah,
absolutely.
But, give people your social media sites so they know to find you.
Instagram is Richard_JR21. Man, I don't even know what my Twitter is. But yeah, just stick to the Instagram. Really, check out my photos.
There's probably a link under there somewhere. You'll probably find it.
Yeah, Richard_Junior21. Like my photos. Let me know what you think about my photos. I definitely want to put myself out there. Definitely want to say everybody stay positive as much as possible. Don't just say positive to claim you're positive. You know, truly think about what makes you personally happy. get away from, the everyday life. America can be very, very hard right now, especially through the pandemic. Spread positivity, maybe sit down, listen to somebody's problems, even though they're very annoying at work. Maybe it helps them cope with life. Maybe you save their life, you don't know what you do for other people. And I definitely want to say, look more into spreading that positivity, helping others out as much as possible. And that's pretty much
Keep your
it.
boundaries. Don't let nobody play you. Don't let nobody play you. You can help people out, but you can keep your boundaries at the same time. I love that message. My outlet is Prince Nigma across the board. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. I just found it easier to do that because Brian helped me out with that. Social media specialist back there. Brian lives life. I'm going to put his plug in too because my man's always had his plug in on this podcast. So I'm going to give him a little shout out. Until next time, appreciate y'all.
How are you going to love me, your real brother?
Made mistakes, but don't break me. Hard times only embrace me. To be the best, and my brother both need to take the risk without safety. So I'm talking a lot, cause I'm the only one who can save me. Stop pointing fingers and pull the triggers to release the past. Lord, please don't forsake me. We grown now, yeah, I wonder why, but a generation ain't built for me. So I give back and make strides, find another way to give life. How